Hello. Welcome to my channel. My name is Miranda, and today we're going to be doing Cappy. This is your bonus read. Keep in mind these messages are general. They may resonate, they may not. Please do not force the story to fit. Take what resonates for you and leave what doesn't for the next Cap. Flip and switch the roles if need be. If I say it's them and you think it's you or vice versa, then that's exactly what it is. Also check your sun, your moon, your rising, and your Venus signs for more messages. If this resonates, you may complete the story. If it doesn't resonate, then you may resonate elsewhere. And you already know, well, this week, I ain't gonna lie, Aries blew everybody out of the water. I don't really see nobody catching up at this point. I'm not gonna rule it out, but I just don't see it. So next week, when I do the next batch of readings, y'all, if y'all want another bonus reading, run them up. Run them up. Aries and Taurus and I think Leo, and then it was Scorpio. So, let's see. What's going on with you, Cappies? What messages do you need to know? What messages do you need to know? Well, that's strange. Because grief came out first, then it was joy. So, let me see. We got joy, we got grounding, we got grief, we've got celestial alignment, and we have self-sabotage. Okay, so, the message here is that you need to choose happiness. Happiness is absolutely a choice. I tell all of my friends that, everybody I know, that happiness is absolutely a choice. If you're feeling sadness, if you're feeling pain, if you're feeling hurt, that's because your emotions, your thoughts, they're negative. Your thoughts are negative. You're thinking negative things. Your emotions are a reflection of your thoughts. So if you're feeling down, you're feeling sad, that means your thoughts are negative. If you want to be happy, you have to think positive thoughts. You have to clear your mind of old habits of being negative, thinking negative, sitting in the negative. Here's the thing, right? It's easy to say that, happiness is a choice when you're used to always thinking in the negative. Also, what I want to say here is that society has programmed us to think that we're supposed to feel grief and sadness. And if we don't feel grief and sadness, if we don't feel pain, if we don't feel hurt, if we don't feel this, we don't feel that over a particular situation, over a particular person, that means we didn't care about them. If we don't acknowledge the pain behind the loss, then that means that we didn't care. That means that it wasn't significant. That is false. That is the wrong way to keep you stuck. That is, that's the right way to keep you stuck. That is the right way to keep you from healing. That's the right way to keep you from being happy. And what happens when you're not happy? You're manifesting backwards. Celestial alignment in the reverse, followed by self-sabotage. So a lot of people really fully believe, like, if I don't cry my eyes out, if I don't feel sad, if I don't act like this is hurting me, or if I don't acknowledge the pain that I feel, then that means I really didn't care about them. That means that this just didn't affect me, or they didn't matter to me. I don't know who came up with that rule in society of loss has to equal pain, but you just have to switch your mindset. Is it sad? Yes. But do you have to live in that sadness? Absolutely not. And I feel like this is your message here. It doesn't take away the fact that you love them. It doesn't take away the fact that you feel the absence. It doesn't take away the fact, but if you want to keep moving forward and not manifest negativity in your life, because this is self-sabotage, because these are self-thoughts that you're having. If you want to manifest happiness for your life, you have to live in a state of happiness. You have to be appreciative. Stop focusing on what you don't have. That's the quickest way to attract more things that you do not have. And I know this is easier said than done. I go back and forth with this myself all the time. Sometimes, I'm tired of being positive all the time. It's a thing. You can get burnt out. But when you get to those points of being burnt out, when you get to those points of you feel like you're trying and it's not really working, that means you have to clear your mind. There's too many things going on. This is where grounding comes in. You have to clear your mind. And the quickest way to clear your mind is to meditate. The quickest way to clear your mind is to not distract yourself. Here's another thing. Y'all's is about to be a little long. I can already tell. I don't know. Here's another thing. We get so used to distractions. We get so used of our mind being occupied. We get so used of movement, sound, things constantly in motion, that when we sit in silence, our mind just goes wild. Our brain just starts firing off. It's just, there's no end to it. It just keeps on going. That's because throughout your day, every single day, you're in constant distraction. Your life is a constant distraction. You're distracted by this, that, and the third. You don't really have time to clear your mind. So when you do get into those spaces of silence, when you do get into those spaces where you can relax, your mind is just firing away and then you're not relaxing. So it's important, if you are a Capricorn going through this, or if you're a Capricorn that's resonating with this, you need to find time and space every single day, whether it's 5 minutes, 8 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever you can do. You'll be surprised at how much time passes when you're scrolling through that phone. Just put it down for 5 minutes. And that 5 minutes will feel way longer, but this is the power of distraction. So you need to sit down with yourself. Start with 5 minutes. You can allot yourself 5 minutes. You've been late to many places for 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? So, or you could get up extra early for 5 minutes. Take 5 minutes. Take 5 minutes. The 5 minutes that you're using scrolling through your phone, take those 5 minutes and meditate. If you don't know how to meditate, YouTube has plenty of videos to help you figure out what meditation tactic is best for you. Some people do it better when they're sitting. Some people do it better when they first wake up. Some people do it better when they're listening to a guided meditation, when there's music playing in the background. There is many different ways to meditate. Very different ways to meditate. Some people meditate during their prayers. That's how they pray. There is something out there for you. Okay. Do not just get stuck on, oh, I tried it, it didn't work. Let me tell you, the very first time that I meditated, this is actually interesting. I'm about to tell you, the very first time that I meditated, I fell asleep. I fell full straight to sleep. Right. So for like, I'm going to say for years after that, I was like, oh, I did it wrong, blah, 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 blah. I continued to try after that. But initially my idea of that, the first go round, I thought for years I was doing meditation wrong. But in reality, I'm about to get deep with y'all. So y'all, it's going to be a little bit longer. Sorry. But I hope that that somebody can take something away from this and use it in a useful way. I just learned recently. Now, I've been meditating for years. I just learned this recently, that the deepest meditative state that your body will go through is sleep. So the very first time that I meditated, I actually did it the highest proper way, which is crazy. But now that I know that, I kind of maneuver around it differently. But for years, I just learned that recently. So for years, like when you're going to sleep at night, your body is resting, but your mind is in this deep meditative state. This is why a lot of us dream. Our bodies, our souls are going into different dimensions. That's a whole different conversation for a different day. But your mind is in like the deepest meditative state. There's zero distractions. It's just you and your mind. It's just you facing, you and your mind that are active, right? Well, your mind that's active, because your body is at full rest. I said that to go somewhere with it. Oh, so after I went to sleep, I went through like many different ways to try to meditate. So I did not go to sleep because I thought I was doing it wrong. And what I ended up doing was, I found that starting off with relaxing music, not music with words, but instrumental music, and it doesn't have to be a specific type of genre. I found my meditative state happens when I listen to, I don't even know the genre of it, but it has like, if I can find it after, I'll put it in the comments down below. But it has this sort of like ethereal feel to it. When I'm listening to this type of sound, it makes me feel as though when I'm taking these deep breaths, because that's really the art of meditation, is deep, long, paused, slow exhale breaths, right? Just breathing control, breathing. Breathing is so important to your body. Breathing is so important to your mind. Oxygen in your body is just extremely important. This is why a lot of smokers feel stress relief when they're smoking. It's those big puffs of smoke that they're expanding their lungs in a big way, and it gives them a false sense of relaxation. But that again is another conversation for another day. What I'm trying to say here is that I found that listening to a certain type of music before I started calmed me down. It calmed me down. It kind of the vibrations of the music that I was listening to brought a sense of peace, so much so that I could redirect my thoughts. Because here's the thing, when you first start meditating, I'm so sorry this is long. If y'all not liking this, you could skip to the next, you could like fast forward until I pull the next spread. But if you don't, what was I gonna already say? Oh my God. Oh, if you find yourself drifting off in thought, you find yourself, okay, you're only focusing on your breathing, and then you start thinking thoughts again. It's okay. It is okay. It's going to take you some time to master. People do not master this right away, especially if you weren't raised in it, you weren't brought up in it. It's okay. Don't get discouraged because your mind is drifting off. Just veer back. Just veer back. Focus on one particular thing at a time. Focus on your breath, your breathing, your surroundings, the things that you hear, the things that you smell, without going into separate thoughts outside of that. Just be in that moment. Okay, so with that being said, that long-winded ass explanation, with that being said, you guys really need to ground, you need to meditate, you need to get your mind clear. Because with you're letting your thoughts take over you instead of controlling your thoughts. And as hard as that sounds, it is not. You control your thoughts do not control you. At the moment where you allow your thoughts to control you, it's at the moment where you leave control of your whole life. And then you're some sort of secondhand victim. Because you're not in control of you. Somebody else is taking the wheel. It's on auto drive or autopilot or whatever you want to call it. But you are no longer in control of your life. And when you're not taking control of your life, then you don't have room to complain about the things that are going wrong. You have all the capability and you have all the power to change it. Once you let yourself go on autopilot and you start complaining about all the things that are doing wrong, this is a recipe for depression. This is a recipe for things to continue to go south. This is a recipe for you to, for negative thoughts to manifest around you, for your life to manifest negativity. It's important for you not to fake it either, because that is not being true. You always want to be true to you. So maybe you don't want to be honest with people about how heartbroken you feel, because on the surface, it sounds like you shouldn't be. Even to me, like I'm telling you right now that you shouldn't be thinking negatively. So probably in person, whether you met me or not or whatever, or anybody that would say something like this to you, you don't feel really safe and confident in saying, I'm hurt behind this. I'm sad about this. This makes me feel like this. It's okay to acknowledge your feelings, because your feelings are, again, are a reflection of your thoughts. So they tell you the way that you're thinking. Don't ever hide from yourself, and don't hide from people who genuinely want to help you. Now, that is a whole separate conversation within itself about other people. We're not talking about other people today. We're talking about you. When you hide from other people for so long, you get used to hiding, and you start hiding from yourself. You start denying things to yourself. You start suppressing things yourself. A lot of people don't know that. When you're faking the funk all the time, you get used to faking the funk. And then after a while, you start to convince yourself that you're okay when you're not. So it's not to be upset at the fact that you're thinking negatively. It's not to be upset that you're feeling bad. The fact that you feel anything is a great thing because a lot of sociopaths out here. So the fact that you even feel anything is a great thing. That means your senses are fully alert. That means that you have the power to change directions. Is it going to happen overnight? For some of you, it may. For others of you, it may take some practice, and that's okay. But when you start feeling those feelings of negativity and sadness and all of those things, just redirect. And if you have to redirect several times, that is okay. Stop putting pressures on yourself that just beat you down. Do not put pressure on yourself that's going to beat you down. Make the effort, because it requires effort, but don't beat you down. Just redirect. Okay, you got distracted here. Redirect. You feel sadness here. Okay, cool. It's not to say don't ever feel sad. You can't control how you feel, but you can control yourself. You control your thoughts. You feel sad about something, think about something that makes you happy. You feel sad about something, think about something that you're grateful for. Just change your direction and thought. And that doesn't take away the fact that you lost this thing or lost that person or lost this or don't have that. It doesn't magically make them appear. It doesn't magically make it happen. But what it does is it shifts your focus on what you don't have and focus on what you do have. And what you do is you transmute your negative energy into something positive. And when you're transmuting energy like that, you're making a magnetic, you're bringing a magnetic attraction to you. Either whether you're in positivity or negativity, you're attracting that around you. So you want to shift your focus to negative, and the more positive things that happen for you, the less and less pain you're going to feel about that loss. Okay, I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, so let's move on. I've been on this shit for 15 minutes on the first spread. I told y'all was going to be long, so All right, let's see what's going on with the with Cappies. I said all of that to say that y'all are very capable. Okay, this is not a lecture. This is not to talk down on anybody or anything like that. That's not the intention here at all. I hope that's not how it's resonating. This is just to remind you that you're capable and that you don't have to be in this space. You don't have to be in it. You could be happy. You just have to choose it. So, and if you want to go away for a little while, because you know, Cappies, y'all like to, you know, people like to say that the Virgos are very like, you know, their tarot card is the Hermit card, and the Hermit crab is like the shell. But even Cancers, they have their symbol is the crab, which has a shell. There's a few signs actually that go into this like isolation, because Virgos do that too, isolate. Capricorns do that too, isolate. Capricorns, you do that too, you isolate. There's a few zodiac signs that isolate when things start to go bad, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. As long as you're not using that isolation to sit and weep and what was me and things are so bad. Take all the time that you need. Nobody is entitled to your energy. Nobody is entitled to your energy. Nobody is entitled to your energy. And anybody that cares about you genuinely will understand your time to need space. Okay? Just use the space wisely if you want to come out of this happier. Let's see. I just went on a 20-minute lecture. Sorry, y'all. That's not what you came here for. I'm so sorry. I just had to tell you what was coming to me. We'll see what's going on. What's going on with Cappies? Little Cappies need to know. If this resonates with you and you feel like you need to go back to it, save it. Because, you know, this shit can get lost. You know, after a couple weeks or whatever, save it. Save it somewhere. We got blocked in the reverse. We have longing in the reverse. We have psychopath. What the fuck? Lord, we got envy in the reverse. We got exhausted in the reverse. Okay. Chaos in the upright. And we have trapped. Okay, this ties into what I was saying. You are, I feel like you're putting your best foot forward. You're trying to move on from a person or a situation or a thing. You're trying to push past something. You're putting your best foot forward, but your thoughts or your feelings are not aligning with your efforts. Your feelings are not aligning with, so you're feeling as though you're a little bit crazy. You're feeling a little bit off your rocker. You're feeling like something is wrong with you because all of this effort that you're trying to do and you're still stuck on this thing. You're still stuck on this person. It's like the more you try to remove the energy, the more you try to push forward, the more thoughts you have about the situation, the more feelings you have about the situation, you're starting to feel like you're losing yourself. You're starting to feel like you're losing your mind. And as much as you want to be upset with this other person, you just can't be. And that's also making you upset that this person, this place, this thing, whatever it is that you're stuck on, whatever it is that you're finding it hard to move on, you're upset with yourself because you know that whatever this is, you're better than sitting in this energy over. Like, you don't need to sit in this energy over that situation. Maybe you got wronged. Maybe you got fired. Maybe you got cut off. Maybe there was an injustice done to you here that you feel like you have a valid reason to be upset with that person, place, or thing about. But you just can't feel that way toward them, and it's making you feel crazy. And instead of facing this, instead of doing what I told you to do, because maybe some of you didn't know that prior to, instead of transmuting that energy into something positive, you're pushing it away because you don't want to be burnt out by this. You don't want to feel empty because you are actively putting in your best foot forward. I'm going to give you that, Capricorn. You really are doing your best. But what's happening is you're suppressing. And when you suppress that energy, it doesn't go away. What it does, it goes deep into your subconscious. It goes deep into your soul. It goes deep into the background. And what happens is it grows. And it slowly grows and slowly grows and slowly grows until you burst. And that's what I see here, that you feel trapped. You feel stuck because you're trying to distract yourself. You're putting in the effort. You're just doing it in the wrong way. So I hope that whoever is resonating with this message takes those tips and helps them get through it in that way, because you are suppressing. And that is no good for your mental. It's no good for your physical. Whatever happens in your mental manifests in your physical. A lot of people don't know that when you get sick, that started in the mind. When you get sick, that started in the mind. It started with your thoughts. When your body is sick, it started in the mind. And that's true for eating things. What made you make that decision to eat that unhealthy thing? It starts in the mind. Even if you're eating healthy and you're still managing to get sick, that's because you're thinking negative thoughts. So I said all that to say some of you may be facing some type of health issues right now. That's not going to be for everybody. Some of you may be facing some type of mental health issues where you feel like you're going into depression, where you're feeling like you're dropping down a hole, you're sinking down a hole, a familiar hole that you've been down as well. You've been here and you're just terrified that you're not going to be able to make it out this time. Terrified that you don't have the ability to push through. You need to not suppress. You need to not suppress. There are many, many, many ways. Very, very good friend of mine. I like to write. I've always written for a long time, but I never, what's the word I'm looking for? I would write how I feel and things like that. I never actually journaled, like took the time out to journal. That has helped me tremendously. So there's many, many, many different ways to fix suppression. The very first step is to accept what has happened. I feel like I'm giving y'all a fucking therapy session, and I am not a therapist, by the way. If you feel like you need therapy, go to a therapist. You feel like you need to go see a doctor, go see a doctor. I am neither one of those things. I don't have any certifications. I didn't go to school for any of that stuff. This is just what I'm getting intuitively. I'm not a healthcare physician, none of that shit. So if you feel like you need that, please go and do that. Let me just move on. let me just move on. Okay, let's see. And remember, nobody's perfect, y'all. Nobody is perfect. Nobody wakes up every day happy. Nobody goes through life and nothing happens to them. Everybody is going through what you're going through, and that's not to take away what you're going through, but what I'm saying is you're not alone. You're not alone. Okay? This is not a universe attacking Capricorn. Universe punishing Capricorn. Absolutely not. This is the ebbs and flows of life, and it's just learning how to get through them. That's all. Give me some messages for Cappies. Give me some messages for Cappies. Divine Masculine, intimacy. We have broken. Here we go. Conflict. We've got abandoned in the reverse. We have foundation. We have past life in the reverse. We have return. And then we have twin flame in the reverse. So obviously there is a masculine energy, a masculine in your energy, I should say. Whether you're a male or a female, this person operates in their masculine energy. Meaning that they are less emotional, more logical. This is the type of person that is very strategic. They don't just they don't really necessarily go out on a whim. Like they don't just wake up and go, let's just do this. They kind of they think things through. This is somebody who likes to be in charge or operates best when they're in charge. This is somebody who, this is not the person that you go to if you need a hug for support. This is the type of person that you go to if you need assistance, physical assistance. You need some type of physical protection. This is an individual that doesn't operate in their feelings as much as other things. This is somebody that you have a very strong, intimate bond with. This is somebody who you have a lot of emotions for. This is somebody who also has a lot of emotions for you. This person broke your heart. They broke your heart, and it left you feeling indifferent. At first, it was pain. Then it was indifference. Then it started to be sadness. The only thing here about this situation is that although this person hurt you, although this person left you feeling all of these things, they never really left your energy space. They always remain. They maybe weren't consistent, and maybe the dynamic may have changed, but this person really never left you, really. And this is because you guys have already established something secure. Maybe you guys have children. Maybe you guys were talking about children or talking about marriage or whatever that is. There's some type of security that was established here. It wasn't really, the best security, wasn't no, it wasn't no, what I'm saying, top level security, CIA level security. Maybe it was like a little, key, a little chain on the door type of security, but it was something. It was something. I feel like you're very convinced that you and this person will work things out, which is a great energy to be in. It's a great energy to be in. Positivity, great energy. You're very convinced that this is happening outside of you for outside reasons that have nothing to do with you. You have told yourself, whether that's true or not, I'm just reading the energy. You have told yourself that what's happening has absolutely nothing to do with you. So with that being said, there's hope that you guys can reconcile. There's hope that you guys can come back together. And what you're hoping for is for this person to open up. What you're hoping for is for this person for you guys to kind of bounce your experiences